A local electrician seeking to clear his name. Youth leaders recognized for their contributions to nation building. And a local law firm receiving international acclaim.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Rule-Farquharson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping the news this evening, another twist tonight in the Grand Bahama Power Company's electricity diversion investigation. For the past 3 weeks, the Grand Bahama Power Company has been conducting investigations into local businesses and residential consumers who have been allegedly diverting electricity. In this report, a local electrician is coming forward to clear his name after he says some social media reports have named his company as the entity responsible for installing the reported energy-saving devices at several franchises, a local hotel, and a pharmacy.
I can guarantee you they can never say that I am the Michael Nemo who sat at the table, who they give a check to or negotiate with.
Michael Nemore Sr. clearing his name during a press conference and telling our ZNS News team that he has never done any work for the Cooper family or any other entity that is engaged in services for any energy-saving devices or the likes. His attorney, K. Brian Hanna, says that this entire debacle can have an effect on Nemore's business and adds that Nemore Sr.'s name has also been cleared by police.
We would have had constant communication with the Royal Bahamas Police Force in regards to it, whereby we would have addressed the issues. The name would have been cleared with the police force in that regard in terms of any liability there. But the issue remains in terms of his reputation as a 40-year contractor who has been practicing here in Freeport for some over 40 years, finds himself in this predicament. The reason why we're coming forward now, and he wants the public to know, because you know social media plays a big role in terms of where your company can go, in terms of your reputation. So he wants that to be cleared away, that, look, this is me, this is Michael Nemo, and I was never involved in any contractual negotiations with none of the entities that involve in the stealing of electricity or energy-saving devices whatsoever.
The Coopers family named a Michael Nemore as the person who they purchased an energy savings device from, and added that this person's company was also a licensee of the Grand Bahama Port Authority. But here's the catch. Nemore admits his company's license was used in attaining these jobs without his knowledge. He says he spoke with police officials and they are continuing their investigation.
Because my license was used in this manner. To me not knowing. I have never entered into any type of such agreement with my license. And they did their job. And they found out that the license that is in wall that was used to these entities. It is Nemore's electrical contractors. And by them doing their work, they found out that someone fraudulently used my license in these negotiations and in these sales.
However, Nemore Sr. says that he doesn't know who could have done such an act.
There's a lot of Michael Nemores, and I think true. So I don't know exactly who they'd be pointing. Like I said, the police is doing their work, and I don't want to point any fingers right now. And I don't want to say what it's worth.
Okay. Do you have a son named Michael Nemore Jr.?
Like I say, the police is doing their work. I cannot comment on anything right now.
His attorney, K. Brian Hanna, says if there are any more questions regarding Nemore's electrical, to please call or visit his office. Meantime, the Grand Bahama Power Company is continuing its investigation into this apparent electricity diversion scheme. At the onset, the power company claimed that customers were either connected directly to their system via a meter bypass, or the meters were tampered with to underread the actual usage. Now, reports say since the issues were brought to light, many more cases have been uncovered. Now, it is also understood that a number of the franchise stores and other entities that were disconnected from GB Power's grid are still running on generators, and it is also unclear if or when those consumers will be reconnected to GB Power supply. Now to news from Bimini. It has been almost 4 years now, and the new Bimini Administration Complex is still a work in progress. The multi-million-dollar two-story structure was built as imperative to improving the level of efficiency in the public service in Bimini, as it is expected to house at least 16 government offices and ministries. The Member of Parliament for Bimini, Pakisha Parker Edgecombe, says the ongoing delays is a source of great frustration.
This is a problem that's vexing to me as the Member of Parliament, and I definitely know that the team on the ground and administrative those are also very interested in seeing this come to its conclusion. It is important that that is finished because right now in Bimini we have many government offices that are spread out all over the place. Our thing is thinking about not only saving but also having a central location that persons can go to and realize that the government's presence here in Bimini is very strong. There are many government agencies in which we're still going to need even additional help with, but we continue to press toward that, and I'm being advised that they should be in there in very short order. It is something that I'm going to definitely keep pushing.
In other news, the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture continuing its efforts to bring local youth leaders in line with international standards. After 6 weeks of intense training, the latest cohort of youth leaders received their certification during a graduation ceremony at the Grand Lucerne Resort on Saturday evening. Sabrina Brown reports.
82 Grand Bahama residents are the latest group of youth leaders to receive national certification through the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture's Youth Leaders Certification Program. Minister of State for Grand Bahama, Senator the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, telling the graduates that youth service is a major component of the country's growth and development.
Youth development has a major role to play in the economic transformation of Grand Bahama and the wider Bahamas. To this end, it is important that they are surrounded and supported by persons like yourself to uplift and to encourage them and to steer them on a path to ready themselves for the future.
Minister Thompson said Grand Bahama is now entering a period of economic revival, and he admonished the youth leaders to prepare their young people for opportunities that lie ahead.
Tell every one of your young people to focus on planning and focus on preparation. Abraham Lincoln said, "Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe." Prepare our young people by shaping the way they think of themselves.
Deputy Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Youth, Darren Turnquest, reminding the graduates that youth service is serious business.
I want to warn you, youth leaders, that you are going into a practice that we are moving into that area called professional practice, because the work that we do, a Fortune 500 CEO could not walk into a room with an unforgivable group of young people and do as he would do with adults, because young people will keep you honest. I have seen many businessmen and women walk into a room with 1,000 young people and they can't open their mouths because they simply don't know how to control them, because it takes an expert to do what we do.
He added that the nation is in a crisis when it comes to the youth, and that's why, he said, youth leaders must be committed to the cause.
In this business, youth leaders, you must be courageous and you must be unapologetic. You must ensure that you fight the good fight and ensure that it's not about protecting you because you already protected. It's about protecting them. And if you cannot do it, then you should take off your corsage. You should put on one white t-shirt, take off the black clothes you have on right now, and make certain that you take the nearest alternative exit and leave the room. Because you're not in the business of youth development. You're in the business of making a show.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Switching gears now, a local law firm on Grand Bahama receiving international acclaim. The recognition coming as a result. Switching gears now, a local law firm on Grand Bahama receiving international acclaim. The recognition coming as a result of the firm's involvement in the expanding maritime sector. Megan Shepard explains.
The Paris Whitaker law firm celebrating a big win, but this time it's not in the courtroom. The boutique law firm recently named Shipping and Maritime Firm of the Year 2019 by Lawyers World. Attorney and partner J.C. Whitaker says the international award brings more awareness to the island, not only nationally but internationally, creating confidence in the international maritime community when they enter the country.
Many people consider Freeport to be the industrial capital of the Bahamas. We have the oil storage facilities, we have the Statoil, Buckeye, the shipyard, the largest container port in the region. And without a proper maritime legal infrastructure, these vessels would not come here. So it's important for us to be able to be reactive, to be knowledgeable, and to offer superior service to ensure that these vessel owners keep coming back to Freeport.
Whitaker noting that maritime law is a unique category of law which requires 24-hour devotion. Unlike the average law cases, Whitaker says that maritime law can sometimes put you in unusual circumstances.
Sometimes we have to actually visit the ships, no matter where they are. These vessels could be 7 to 10 miles offshore and we have to go out there. Sometimes we have to deal with casualties at sea. We have to do witness statements when there's a death on board a vessel, where there are ship collisions, where there are oil spills. Like all of these things play into maritime law. In a lot of cases, you're actually dealing with foreign governments and entities, and it's a lot of intricate detail that's involved in actually becoming a good maritime attorney.
He also admits that his wife and partner, Kenra Whitaker, is the maritime specialist at the firm.
She has won numerous awards in maritime field, and also recently she won a case in the Privy Council where she represented the owners of a vessel that actually collided with the Buckeye jetty. That case didn't receive too much attention, but it was a precedent-setting case. And in that case, there was a vessel, an oil tanker that was actually coming into port, and something went wrong, and the vessel hit the Buckeye jetty. Cases like that, although you may hear about it in the news and you just breeze over it, they have far-reaching effects. And that case took, I think, about 6 to 7 years, but eventually it went to the Privy Council and we were successful in asserting our clients' rights.
The law firm has won several awards since its inception, including Commercial Litigation Firm of the Year 2018 and 2019. Now, as Grand Bahama has been highlighted as the maritime capital of the country, Whitaker says that he believes the Maritime Award is particularly important to bring awareness.
There are quite a few that we have won, but we feel as if the Maritime one was worthy enough to share, to let people know that Freeport is not a forgotten city, that we're still on the map, even though it's nothing to do with tourism or banking. We still have a very active industrial sector, and there's a lot of opportunities for a lot of people in Grand Bahama to be active in that sector as well.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news right after the break.